Hey everyone, it's me Catherine and this is my spoilery discussion for The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. If you haven't read this, I do have a spoiler-free review which you can check out, which I will link up here. But this video will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you have been warned. So I'm just going to start off by saying that this isn't going to be a long video because I loved The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet and I loved the characters so much, but what I'm here to talk to you guys about today is what happened to Ohan at the end, because it doesn't sit well with me. I mean, I'm happy he's alive. I am so happy he's alive and well and wanting to be with the crew and wanting to stay on the Wayfarer, but what Corbin did angered me. It made me so angry and it was wrong. He shouldn't have done it, regardless of how Ohan feels afterwards, how the rest of the crew feel afterwards, because it's not about that. Ohan said no to the cure. He said no. So Corbin shouldn't have done it. And the fact that he did, that he forced the cure upon them, was wrong. I've been rereading all the bits with Ohan in and everything, and no matter how I try to spin it, it just feels wrong to me. Even if the majority of what Ohan was saying while he was a pair was the Whisperer doing the talking, was the Whisperer putting the thoughts and things in his head and making him say those things because they took over Ohan's mind, regardless of that, they still said no, because it was still Ohan. It didn't matter how much of it was the Whisperer that said it, it was still Ohan that said no. To Ohan, the Whisperer was a part of him and a part of his culture, and Corbin forcing that cure on him, regardless of how Ohan feels afterwards, because I am sure that Ohan is happy to be alive, because it did mention that he was scared of dying and death, and he did mention that it did make him sad that he would be leaving the crew when he died, and that it would make the crew sad. But he refused the cure, and Corbin forcing that on him, it just... I contemplated just reading the next book, because there is another book after this, just to see how Ohan fares as a solitary. But I realised that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Ohan is happy then, because he might not have been. It wasn't Corbin's choice. It wasn't Corbin's business. He had no right to force that cure upon Ohan, because, yes, I know he did it for the rest of the crew, because the rest of the crew would be sad if Ohan died, especially after what happened to Lovey. But it was still wrong. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It was still wrong. It doesn't matter how happy everybody is afterwards. Ohan said no. It had to be Ohan's choice, and the fact that it wasn't, like I said, don't get me wrong, I am happy he's alive, and part of me is happy that Corbin did that, but there is a big part of me that is really angry at him for doing that, because he shouldn't have. He really shouldn't have. That's not something you can force on somebody. All Ohan has known is really being a pair, because they give them the virus as a child, don't they? So that's all he's known. He's only ever known this other presence inside him, and I don't know. It just, obviously, I've tried looking at it and seeing if maybe it was the Whisperer that was controlling him, but at the end I decided that it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, and I didn't like that happened. I wanted it to be Ohan's choice, and that was why this book isn't a 5-star book for me, because of that happened. I don't know, guys, I don't know, there's conflicting feelings. I'm happy that Ohan's alive, because I really wanted him to be alive, because I love Ohan. I know you don't get to see him much, but it would have been sad if he died. It would have been sad for everybody else if he died, and he's alive, which is great, but also it should have been his choice. It wasn't his choice. Corbin took that away from him, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But that is basically what I wanted, all I wanted to say in this video. That is basically what I'm filming this video for, just to say that I'm not happy with what happened to Ohan, but at the same time I'm also happy. But it doesn't sit well with me when you when you blatantly ignore someone's choice like that, regardless of whether you have no right to decide whether it's the whisperer. So ultimately we won't know, and we have no right to decide whether it was the whisperer refusing the cure or Ohan. It doesn't matter, because they said no, and I'm just repeating the same things over and over again. Can you tell it bugged me? It really, really, really made me angry. But apart from that, guys, everything else, fine. Their relationships, cool. But just that one thing really made me angry. It really made me angry, and that's what I'm filming this video essentially for. So that is it, guys, for this spoilery discussion. If there are any more spoilery things that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments below, and I will reply as fast as I ever reply to anything. But that is it, guys, from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in another video. Bye!